I get asked all the time how I'm able to batch out like 15 different shorts without running out of content ideas. And the answer isn't magic, it's systems. There's a bit of a twist here. So what I do is I actually search out the top performing content in my niche over the last little while. I rate that, and then I don't just scrape the content. I look into the comments to see what people are actually asking for. So once I have that, I go into Big View, and that helps me with recording. Let me show you how it's done. This is my Big View dashboard. As you can see, there are 10 shorts recorded here from the one batch. And if we go over to the next page, 3 more over here. So that's 13 shorts I was able to batch out in about 45 minutes to an hour. And if you're wondering how I was able to do that, what you do is you upload your scripts onto Big View, and then it works as a teleprompter. So you can just read through your scripts, looking into your phone while it records, and you can move on to the next one. Very easy. But if you're wondering how I'm able to get 13 to 15 scripts in a day, that's where my N8N workflow comes in. So this is my Twitter scraper or X scraper. It's available in the Skool community if you'd like it for yourself, but I'm going to break down the entire workflow end to end, each node step by step, so you know what you're getting into. The first node is the schedule trigger. That is pretty self-explanatory, but I like to run it every 3 days, not every day. I find that's a good threshold in terms of just the amount of content that passes my filter that I could use to create a batch. The next thing is we're going to configure our search, and the code node might look a little bit intimidating, but I'm not a coder. I just find it's a good way to get a task done that doesn't have an explicit node or something for it. So I honestly just use ChatGPT, pop it open, and explain what it is you want it to do. So in this case, I'd say, I need an N8N code node that's going to configure our search for the last 3 days and also configure our search keywords. In our case, it's going to be AI automation, N8N, things of that nature. Can you produce a JavaScript code node for that, please? There you go. And it's going to think about what's up. It's going to push out some JavaScript, and then we just copy it, paste it in here. It's going to do the thing we want it to. And if ever like there's an error, right? Like sometimes like it doesn't always get it right first try, just copy paste and be like, this error happened, and it'll whittle it down until it works properly. So it's going to keep thinking. I'm going to move on. So the next one is our scraper node. So we need to actually get onto Twitter to, find the top contents. And you'll notice this isn't the X node. What I'm actually using is twitterapi.io. I find this is a little bit more accessible than the actual X API. The rate limits are a little bit tough to work around. So I tend to split this up 50-50 with the actual X node and these guys. When you sign up, you get 100,000 credits or something like that, which is quite a lot. I think every call is between 1 to 300. So anyway, you've got your API key. We're going to copy that. We're going to go over to our node, and then we're going to create a header auth. So you copy your API key, you put it in here, and I believe it's XAPI. What is the name of it? Let's go with got our documents right here. Tweet endpoints, where are we? Get tweets by ID. There you go. So the authorization is x-api-key, and you just punch that in here. x.api-key, and then the API key, and that is your Twitter API. Lovely. You can also go in and use the curl requests, right? Copy curl for what you need, copy, and then paste it over here, right? Or just like that. I've already got this set up, so no big deal. So then what we do is we take the query parameters from our code node and put that in here for query. And that is going to be the niches that we're searching for and the dates that we're searching within. Once that runs, we got another one to rank by efficiency. And I just did the exact same thing. We're going to score these by total engagement, recency, and give them a multiplier for how recent they were posted. So let's do the same thing. We've got our other one. Let's go create another JSON code node for N8N, ranking the output from the get top tweets. What we want to do is score the tweets based on total engagement, recency, and giving a multiplier for more recent posts to highlight priority. We do that. That's going to give us another JSON code block. Takes a minute to think, but we're going to copy that, paste it, put it in here. And again, if it does come back with any errors, just copy that and have ChatGPT help you with that. You can correct the errors. Claude is also very good at this. It doesn't have to be ChatGPT, whatever you want to use. There we go. So we've got our top tweets with a score. Now what we need to do is go over each of those and get the replies. So we're going to want to wait because we're only allowed to make one request to Twitter API every 5 seconds. So I've got a wait node here for, I believe it's 5 seconds, 10 seconds, just to make sure. So we're going to loop over the items. That's going to get every tweet individually. And then we're going to wait 10 seconds so that we're not tripping the API. Then we're going to get the tweet replies. So we'll go over here to our documents, get tweet replies, and then copy the curl just like we did before. Right here, I'll show you what that looks like when we actually do it. HTTP. We just import the curl. Boop. There we go. All right, X API key. Ta-da. So the body parameters are going to be the actual tweets, which we will put in from here at json.id. That's going to be the value that we get from our Twitter scraper. Next thing we need to do is parse this so that our agent can actually read these things. And what we do with this guy is get original tweets, extract comments, and then combine sentiment for analysis. So we're just basically aggregating the whole of this so that our AI agent knows what to do. And again, I won't have to show you, but we're going to go into ChatGPT and then just have it parse the output of here so that our agent can run it. So I'll show you what I would do if I was building this again from scratch. We're getting the tweets, parsing the tweets. We've got this wait node, getting our tweet replies. Lovely. So what you can do is you can even just like straight up grab the output JSON. You can just copy it. What am I doing? Copy. And then just say parse this for an AI agent, please. Oops. Let's say get a code node 2. There we go. There. Amazing. So again, that's going to get the parser node for us, and then the AI agent will be able to digest that big block of text easily. Now onto the agent. The prompt I've got here is pretty straightforward. So you're a Twitter content intelligence analyst. Your job is to identify why content went viral and extract actionable patterns for content creation. So we're not just looking at the post itself, because a lot of this is going to be like comments, leads for my cold outreach template, or, things like that we can't like take one-to-one. But what we are doing is checking the sentiment, seeing what people actually want, finding opportunities to make our own lead magnets, and then, researching from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to analyze the framework, content classification, whether it's a lead magnet, educational, personal story, whatever. And then the audience response to this. Is it like positive, negative, neutral, right? Like what are people saying about this? Because you don't want to repurpose content that like is really inflammatory or people don't like. Sentiment strength 1 to 100. How strongly do people feel? So we're really analyzing the replies and the response to these top tweets. And then from there, since a lot of them are lead magnets, we're going to look into opportunities to make our own so that we get that engagement, right? Viral mechanics, why it worked. Let's figure out the guts of what's going on with this post, growth opportunities, and we go from there. And then this is just my output parser. So we want the content type, confidence, sentiment, lead magnet score, trigger, and then possible repurposing angles. Okay, so this agent does a super good job of this. Goes and runs for each individual post that we've pulled out. And again, the code node to parse. So I would run this agent. Cool. All right, so we've got the output. Let's go to JSON. This is the output of the agent for that particular post. So we just do the same thing. Go back into ChatGPT. Let's go create a code node to parse this output, please. Make sure that the characters are under 2,000. And the only reason I'm doing the under 2,000 thing is because I live in Notion. Notion has a 2,000 character limit. This is going to bring us the code node that parses that to the under 2,000 character limit, right? That's essentially exactly what I did here, right? Copy, paste there. We've got our parsed output. And then from our parsed output, we route that into our database of choice. In my case, like I said, it's Notion. You could also use Google Sheets. It's just fine. You don't have to mess around with the 2,000 characters if you're in Sheets, but like I said, I live in Notion, so I just put it into Notion. Athena, it's loading. Cool. And then you just, classic N8N style, what you do is you just map all of these to your desired column, right? Just like this. And then the finished product looks like so. I've got a bunch of ideas right here in order to, digest and cannibalize into my own content. The original tweet, what people are saying about it, what people want, you know what I mean? And then you've got your different angles, pardon me, lead magnet opportunities, like what could you do from here, right? Easy peasy. Honestly, from here, I just take that information, put it into ChatGPT, and then tell it to generate like 10 to 15 posts. But what you could do from there is you could always punch that into this guy down here and have an AI agent do just that, right? Repurpose that content for you. This is all deactivated right now because I didn't want it to continue, but we would get that database, filter it by score again, just making sure that we're only putting out the best content in line with our voice. And then same sort of thing. Once we filter it, we loop over the items and then update the database with the finished content. And there you have it. That's a complete workflow. I really wish BigView had an API so that I could just send those scripts or that idea automatically, but it's okay. What we do is we just copy paste it into the scripts and then work on that. Like I said, this exact workflow end to end is available in my Skool community. It's in the quick wins section where we can scrape right here. Just sign into the Skool community, go to the quick wins section and download the template right there. More than just the templates though, you'll be part of a community of over 100 other builders and industry experts, all helping each other out. So that's all I got for you this time. I'll see you in the next.